Hello, my name is Richard Carthon. I'm the CEO and founder of Follow My Cow, and this is How to Become a Milleniare, Episode 7, Product Development. Now today I'm going to be telling you the importance of how you can create your mobile application or website and the process that you're probably going to be going through as you start to create your $1,000,000 app idea. So the first thing is dealing with your development team. So hopefully as you've gone through this process and you've established your initial team, you have gotten a CTO, which is your Chief Technical Officer. So a person that can code. Having a person that can code on your team is super significant and very crucial actually to helping you move along your business way faster than being able to do it alone. However, if you do not do this, it's not impossible. Personally, I didn't have a CTO when I started, and I can't personally code. However, I knew I had resources to be able to get the team in place to be able to not only create my product, but launch it to a place to where I continue to see my business propel itself forward. So when I initially started my product development and before I went and got my initial investors, I scanned a ton of different development companies. I looked both in the United States and I looked overseas, and I talked to 12 different companies that could develop my product. And after doing some research and development, also talking to some different companies for the best price and for the best quality that I was going to get, I ended up finding my team, and it turned out to be a team located in India. And so far, I mean, without knowing ahead of time, what to expect. Of course, dealing with the team overseas in itself is just a whole nother conversation. But it's important to be able to know what you're dealing with when you deal with a team that's external. Even if you deal with an American team that's not with you every day, that is purely over the computer or over phone, know that the conversation relationship is going to be a little different than if you were seeing them every day. So the first thing you want to be able to know is, what to expect when dealing with this team. So you're going to basically be a project manager, in the fact that you know the ultimate vision that you have created in your head. Now your job is to make them see your vision and create it. That's why it's very important to have created your MVP, so when you start to go to these developers, they can see and can understand what it is exactly what you're trying to make. That way they have less thinking to do and more direction to go into, and more solid variable things that they can start creating. The next part is you need to be able to communicate with them. A lot of times you're going to be explaining what exactly feature or functionality that you want, and they're not going to see it. They're not going to understand it. As a matter of fact, they're going to create it wrong, even though you told them exactly how to make it. So you're going to have to be able to go back over things that you've already told them and get them to fix it to your liking, and then continue to move forward. What will end up happening as you go through your process is you'll give them a list of things to do. They'll do all of them, or they'll say they'll do all of them. They'll probably do more like 2 or 3, and they'll have done the other 3, but they've done it completely wrong. And what you'll do is you'll start moving towards other things, and by the time that you realize those other 3 things that weren't done completely were still not completed, now you have 7 things you have to worry about. So what I challenge you to do is, as you're going through each of the hard points that you want to cover, make sure each one has been done fully and has been done as well as it possibly can before you move forward. Otherwise, you're just going to run into this huge back and forth battle of trying to figure out what has actually been done. The next piece of that is, as you start to get some of your betas, if you will, or alphas, the first versions of your application, make sure you're doing user testing. You need to make sure that when you might think you've created the greatest thing on earth, and of course you're very biased because you're putting all this effort, energy, time into this product, into this thing that people don't know exists yet. They don't know why it's as special and amazing as you know it is, and so they can't ultimately see the vision. So you need to be very, very open to harsh criticism, and you should be looking for it. So as you get your first users to start testing it, let them just tell you what they feel. Let them tell you what works, what's good, what's amazing, what's terrible, and then go back and make it even better. And you need to be able to do that each time you come out with your new versions. So as I started to create my product, I dedicated 2 months to actually giving it to users, let them test it out, tell me what's good, what doesn't work, go back, make it better, and then do it again, and then do it again. And then I got to the point to where I was ready to say, okay, here's a version I'm proud of. Though it's still going to be getting better, I'm proud of where this is a good starting point, and I continue to move forward with that. And it's probably one of the best decisions I've made to this point. Another thing that you're going to want to do is understand that whatever you put in your original scope of work for your developers, it's going to change. You're going to realize, oh, I forgot this button. Oh, I forgot this functionality. Oh, like when I was creating this, I didn't realize that these 3 things could happen from this one feature. Your idea is going to elevate and it's going to improve over time. And also you're going to realize that sometimes you put too much, you're going to have to scale back. It's going to be ever revolving, ever changing. And so with that, you need to make sure you have a budget that's going to reflect that, because you will change things and it's going to take more time, which brings me to one of my final things, is that realize that whatever they tell you, or whoever your developer is, whether it's your CTO, whether it's your development team overseas, doesn't matter. Whatever they tell you is the hard end date, just add 2 or 3 months. That's what's most likely going to happen. It's going to take longer than you expected because you're going to add more things or take things away, or something's going to happen, a fire's going to occur, you're going to have to put it out. Just whatever it is that you think is your end time, add 2 or 3 months, and that's probably going to be a more accurate description of when your product will actually be developed. And the last little thing I'll leave you with is be tenacious with the details, the finer details, because as long as you see your vision, as long as you can make that vision become a reality, you have to be so on top of your product that no one knows it like you and no one sees the ins and outs more than you do. If you really want to have something that has an amazing experience that brings users back for more, you need to make sure that you're doing everything you can to make sure that everything is working and functioning to your liking and to what your ultimate vision is. So I want to thank you again for joining me on How to Become a Milleniare. Next week on episode 8, I'm going to be telling you about marketing strategy, how once you create this amazing product, how you can get it out to the market and get people to start downloading your product. Thank you.